Hello and welcome to Narrowboat Chef. Today in the menu we are cooking a recipe from our new cookbook.
Today we're going to be making gingerbread biscuits, and we are aware that we haven't been doing as many cooking vlogs or even like cruising lifestyle vlogs, mainly because over the past month or so we have been working extremely hard on getting this cookbook out and printed and published and available. And it is now finally all done. It is available for purchase, and if you're interested there are links down in the description below so you can go and check it out. Now that the cookbook project has been completed, we are going to try to get back to our regular schedule of cooking videos and boat life vlogs.
So without further ado, let's get cooking.
Let's get cooking. Baking?
Baking. Let's get baking.
I decided to make the gingerbread biscuits because it is coming up to Christmas, and there is something about ginger and cinnamon mixed together, all those delicious spices, that brings Christmas trees, boughs of holly and Christmas gifts to mind. The first step for these biscuits is to melt 125 grams of butter, 175 grams of soft dark brown sugar, and 4 tablespoons of black treacle over a medium heat in a pot on the stove, and let that simmer for about 2 minutes after it's all combined. After the mixture has simmered for the 2 minutes, then remove it from the heat and let it cool down for 10 minutes. While the sugar and butter mixture is sitting there cooling down for about 10 to 15 minutes, I'm going to add into a mixing bowl 350 grams of plain flour, a teaspoon of bicarbonate of soda, a tablespoon of ground ginger, which is obviously the main ingredient of gingerbread, as well as a teaspoon of ground cinnamon and a teaspoon of ground allspice. Once they're all together in the mixing bowl, just going to mix them all together so that they're properly mixed through each other. The next step is to add the cooled sugar mixture in with the flour, with a teaspoon of vanilla essence and a lightly beaten egg. Mix these ingredients together until they become a smooth biscuit dough. Now that the dough has been combined, it should still be a little bit sticky, but we're going to place it onto some cling film. And once it's on the cling wrap, we're just going to flatten it out a little bit into a disc so that when we put it into the fridge to cool, it will cool a little bit quicker. We're just going to wrap it in the cling film, and we're going to put that into the fridge for an hour so that it will cool down and it'll be a bit firmer and easier to handle for when we start rolling and cutting the shapes out of it. The gingerbread dough has now been in the fridge for about an hour, so I'm going to take it out, and I'm also going to preheat the oven to 190 degrees Celsius or 375 degrees Fahrenheit, or if you've got a gas oven, that's gas mark 5. So the dough's become much firmer now that it's sat in the fridge for a little while. And I'm just going to take half of it, set one half aside for later. Then I'm going to flour the bench with just a little bit of plain flour, and I'm going to roll out the gingerbread dough. I'm using a rolling pin that I have borrowed from Galley from Liverboard Lifestyle because we still don't have one. Just keep turning and flipping the dough so that it doesn't stick to your bench. And if you need a little bit of extra flour, just sprinkle some on. We want to roll the dough out to about 1/2 centimetre thickness or 1/4 inch, which is about that. And then we're going to cut some Christmassy shapes into the dough. Just use a little bit of flour and it will stop the dough from sticking to your cutters. And obviously we have to do gingerbread men, that's a must. Just continue cutting out your biscuits until you've covered the entire space of dough that you've rolled out. Now that I've finished cutting the biscuits, I just need to take them out of the rest of the dough, and I'm going to place them onto a tray that is lined with baking paper and keep them about 2 centimeters apart, so roughly about 1 inch apart from each other, so they've got space to spread. Now that all my cut biscuits are on a tray, I'm going to place them into the oven for about 8 to 10 minutes, and then they'll be ready to come back out again. While those biscuits are in the oven cooking, I'm going to start on the second tray, and I'm going to use all these scraps of dough, roll them back together, roll them out again, and repeat the process. The gingerbread biscuits have been in the oven for 8 minutes and I've just taken them out. They will still be a little bit soft, so you'll need to let them cool on the tray for 3 to 4 minutes, and then you can transfer them to a cooling rack for them to cool down the rest of the way. I'm going to continue on with the second half of the dough, rolling it out, cutting the biscuits, popping them on the tray. I'm going to reuse the same tray and just keep going. All of the biscuits have been cut and I'm just waiting on the second last tray of biscuits to come out so that I can put the last lot of biscuits onto it and pop them in the oven. And they're all starting to cool down now. I've cut them all, so that means the little bits left of dough is obviously for the all-important quality assurance. And seeing as Ryan's not here,
there you have it. That's our gingerbread biscuit recipe.
you can decorate them however you like or just leave them plain. They're still delicious plain.
Mm-hmm.
And as we mentioned, the recipe for these is in our
Winter Warmers recipe book.
Yes, our latest recipe book called Narrowboat Chef's Winter Warmers Collection. And we'll leave links down in the description below if you want to check it out, and we would appreciate if you did go and have a look at it. Yep.
If you do try this recipe, don't forget to take some photos and pop them up on social media for us to look, tag us.
Yeah, we'd like to see them. Yeah. And hope you've enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. We'd better show them some Pixel. It's been a while.
Oh yeah. Pickles. Pixel.
We're not in the kitchen now.
She been. Oh.
Hey. Hey, cutie. What did you think? Look, I decorated a little gingerbread man as well.
She said, "Can I have? It's for me."
It's not for you. They're not Pixel biscuits.
We should have made some Pixel biscuits. Little doggy biscuits.
My little bones.
Yeah.
Maybe next time, Pixel.
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time?
Nope.
She's disgusted now.